next building, which is the Monument for Peace and Justice. And for our words, we chose Peace, Justice, in Alabama because it stands for peace and justice. And this does take place in rural Alabama. And the company that made this was Mass Design, a group of diverse architects that create monuments and other buildings.
So for the site and context of the National Memorial for Peace and Justice, it is located in warm, rural Montgomery, Alabama. And this site is actually situated on top of a hill that overlooks Montgomery. The site circulation is very centralized and open, and you can visually see that with the actual memorial itself, with the square formation of the building and its surrounding pathways. And the pathways are very open, so people can explore the actual monument, the actual graves and memorial sites themselves are very spaced out and very open themselves. And each pathway is very linear with crossing pathways that cut into each other to get through different sections of the building. So for the space of the interior of the National Memorial for Peace and Justice, the space is very open. And if you look at the actual form of the building or the building structure, it has these hanging um, pillars with information on them. And you can see that on the sides of the wall and on top of the ceiling. And essentially, this place it was built to memorialize the Black lynching and crime that went on during during all the 800 counties in the United States back before the Civil Rights era and during the 20th century, and essentially the 19th and 20th century. And essentially these pillars represent all 800 counties that went through the Black violence and Black lynching in the United States. And if you look at the actual space, um, the pillars on the ceiling almost represent like lynching themselves, right? And it gives a different emotional impact that the actual monument is going after. For the building circulation, it's very competitive with different pathways crossing into each other and leading to different sections of the building, which causes a variety in the circulation of the building. For the form of the actual building, the the dominant space is the actual monument or memorial piece itself, the square-like structure. And if you notice, the square-like structure isn't 100% even. It's kind of distorted in some way to kind of symbolize the violence that took place and the disturbing, kind of distorted reality of these Black crimes and Black lynchings that took place back then. And the many intersecting lines correspond with the pathways that lead to different sections of the building, right? And it has many planes that are kind of linear, that go into linear formation as well. So the building structure itself is very sturdy on the axis, and the pillars themselves correspond to like linear organization or the linear form of the building. And the building itself is very open, which allows for the natural light and natural warmth of the sunlight to come through. It gives off very natural lighting. So for the color materials and texture, it uses natural material like woods and stone to build the actual monument. And as you can see here, you can see the natural sunlight lighting up the place and the monument itself. And the space of the actual monument pillars themselves are very open, and it has a complementary finish that kind of brings it all together and makes it have like a natural aesthetic to the actual monument itself, connecting it with earth and with nature and making it all around a very nice monument to look at.